So the first example, find the area bounded y equals x squared minus 1 and y equals 1 minus x squared. Okay, so x squared minus 1, this is x squared. Don't forget, it is go down by minus 1, so you have this one as the blue one is x squared minus 1, x squared minus 1. What about this one? Minus x squared is this one, lifted up by 1 point. So you have this one. We don't know what is the intersection point. The area is given by the green one. So how do I know the area of this? Don't forget, integral of the upper function minus the lower function. So the upper should be minus x squared plus 1 minus x squared minus 1. Okay, so you want to have the integral from the red one minus dx. But what about the boundary of the integral? You have to find the intersection point. If you want to find the intersection point, the y should be equal and the x should be equal. So I have y equal y. Y is x squared minus 1, the first one, and y should be 1 minus x squared, the second one. So the y, the height should be the same, and the x should be the same. That's what we mean by intersection point. X and y should be the same. So I have y should be the same, so I have this one. Minus x squared go to the left hand side, you have 2x squared. 1 go to the left hand side, it becomes minus 2. So you have 2x squared minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so you can divide here by 2y because on the right hand side is 0. 0 divided by 2 is 0. But you cannot have this. You mustn't. If fx equals then you cannot have this. This is not the same. Very, very careful. Very, very careful. So if I have fx equals 4 over 3x cubed plus 1, you cannot multiply this with 3. You cannot. Except fx is 0. Except fx is 0. If this is not known, you cannot have multiply with some number. You cannot. Okay, yeah? I see some of you do this on your midterm exam. And it is not allowed because the left hand side is not 0. You cannot simplify. You cannot simplify this. Just leave it 4 over 3. Okay, yeah? And the intersection point is given. Yeah, okay, you can factorize this. This is x minus 1. X plus 1 equals 0. So the intersection point is 1 and minus 1. So I know from the graph, this must be minus 1 and 1. Okay, I don't know which position, but based on my calculation, this must be minus 1, the left, and the right one should be 1. So the integral is the integral from minus 1 until 1 of the red one. The red one, yeah, minus x squared plus 1. Oh, minus x squared plus 1 is 1 minus x squared, the same, yeah? Minus the blue one, x squared minus 1. Okay, yeah? Don't forget, if you want to calculate this is 1 by 1. Okay, yeah? So this is 1 minus 1. So you have 2. Minus x squared minus 2x squared dx. And how do I calculate this? I can just do this separately, yeah? Separate this. So this is 2 integral 1 dx minus 2 integral x squared dx. What is integral 1? Antiderivative of 1 is just x. So you have 2x evaluated at minus 1 and 1. What about this one? You have to find minus 2 times the antiderivative of x squared. That is 2/3. Okay, yeah? 2 times 1/3 x to the power of 3. 1/3 times 2 is 2/3. So you have 2/3 x cubed evaluated at minus 1 and 1. So you can just evaluate this. 2 times 1 minus 1. Okay, yeah? Minus 2 over 3 times 1 cubed minus 1 cubed. Don't forget parenthesis. Don't forget parenthesis. If you are dealing with negative, parenthesis. Always use parenthesis. So you have this 1 cube minus 1 cube. Minus 1 cube will give you minus 1. 1 cube is 1. 1 minus 1 should be plus 2. So you have 2 times 2 over 3. That is 4 over 3. Why is this plus? Be minus. And this one, 1 minus 1, you should have 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 over 3. That is 3 kurang sepertiga. 2 per 3 ya. So this is 2.67. Okay. Any question from this? For example 1. So if you want to find the area, if given the boundary, you have to draw first. You draw first. Okay, yeah. We will just give you a simple function that we have already learned at week 9 and from other previous week from chapter 1. So this is just a simple function. We won't ask you for hard questions, yeah. Just simple function for you. The second one, find the area bounded by y equals to x plus 3 and y equal x squared. Okay, y equal x squared is this, with the vertex is 0, 0, 0, the origin. And to x plus 3, don't forget, y equals to x, lift it up by 3 points. Okay, so you will have the boundary 1 is in negative, 1 is in positive. What is that? I don't know. You have to find the intersection point. How do you find the intersection point? Easy. Finding the intersection point, y should be equals to y. Y, the first y is 2x plus 3. The second y is x squared. So you bring this to the right hand side, x squared minus 2x minus 3. So you have equals 0. 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. So you have this one. And you can factorize this. And you have the intersection point is x equals minus 1 and x equals 3. So there you got the boundary minus 1 and this is 3. How do you find this? By finding the intersection point. Okay, yeah? Don't forget, first of all, draw the graph. Okay, yeah? Rough sketch, just rough sketch. The area is given by this, minus 1 over 2x plus 3 minus x squared. And 2x minus x, so I have minus x squared plus 2x plus 3 dx. I can separate this, minus integral x squared dx, plus 2 times integral x dx, plus 3 times 1 integral dx. What is the integral of x squared? 1/3 x to the power of 3. 1/3 x cubed. This one, evaluated at 3 and minus 1. What about this one? 2 times x. What is the antiderivative of x? That is 1/2 x to the power of 2. Okay, yeah? So you have 2 divided by 2 divided by 2 times x squared. And what about this? The antiderivative of 1 is just x. So you have 3x evaluated at minus 1 and 3. You can just simplify this. Minus 1/3 evaluated at, don't forget, when you are dealing with negative, put the parenthesis. Minus 1/3, 3 cubed minus 1 cubed. Okay, yeah. This is 3 squared. This is 2 divided by 2 is 1. So it leaves out us with just x squared. If substitute 3 and minus 1, 3 squared minus 1 squared. Okay, plus 3 times what is x? 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1. Don't forget the parenthesis. Okay, so you have minus 1. 3 cubed is 27. Minus 1 cubed is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1. 28 over 3. Minus 28 over 3. What about this one? 9 minus 1 times minus 1 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. So you have 8 here. Plus, what this is? 3 minus 1. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 20 minus 28 of 3. You can simplify this times 3. So I have 60 minus 28. That will give you 38 divided by 3. Okay, so this is just the same. The same as previous one, but different function. Different function. Any questions before we proceed? Okay, no. The third example, find the area bounded by y equals square root of x and y equals x. Y is square root of x and y equals x. Y equals x is the blue one. The origin, it passes the origin 0, 0. And y equals square root of x, it passes the origin also 0, 0, but we still don't know what is this one, the intersection of this, because we want to find the area bounded by the region is this one, the green one. Okay, to find the green one, I have to find the boundary first. To find the boundary, I have to find the intersection first between the red and blue one. So square root of x equals x. I can just square this, so you have x equals x squared. X, very, very careful, yeah. You cannot have this. X equals x squared, Pak. So I can this, so 1 equals x. This is wrong. Why? Because when you cancel this out, you divide by x. What about if x is 0? You cannot divide by 0, isn't it? It is not division by 0. So you have to bring this to the other side. X squared minus x equals 0. This is the only way. This is the only way. You cannot have x squared equals x and you can this equals x equals 1. No, you are missing some x. That is x equals 0 here. You can just have 1 if you do this one. Yeah, very, very careful. So if you have x squared minus x equals 0, you can factor out x. It will leave you x minus 1, this one. So the intersection point are x equals 0 and x equals 1. Oh, so the intersection point this is 1. So you want to find integral 0 to 1 of the upper minus the lower. Square root of x minus x, square root of x minus x dx, okay. Simplify, square root of x is x to the power of a half, dx minus, separate, integral 0, 1 of x dx. What is integral of x to the power of a half? 1 over a half plus 1, x to the power of a half plus 1. A half plus 1 is 3 over 2. Minus 1/3, or what is the antiderivative of x? That is 1 over 2, x to the power of 2. Okay, you can just substitute 0 and 1. So you have, this is 1 over 3 over 2. 1 over 3 over 2 is 2 over 3. Don't forget, 1 divided by 3 over 2 is 2 over 3. This is the same as 1 times 2 over 3. Okay, yeah. And so you have 2 over 3 times x to the power of 3 over 2. What is the power of 3 over 2? That is x times square root of x. One plus a half is 3 over 2. So this is x to the power of 1 times x to the power of a half. This is x times square root of x. Okay. So you have this. You can just substitute 1. You substitute 0 will become 0. So you have 1 times square root of 1, which will become 1. Minus a half, x squared, 1 squared minus 0 squared. So you have this one, and you can do this, and you have 1 over 6. Do you have any questions here? No, you don't have any questions. Okay. Okay, and then I'll continue. What about this last one? Is this? Yes, this is the last one. The last one for the finding area between curve. So I want to find the area bounded by y equals x squared, the red one. Y equals to x plus 3. Ah, the same as previous. 2x plus 3. 2x lifted up 3 points. This one. But it is bounded also by x equals 0. What is x equals 0? X equals 0 is this. X equals 0 is this. What is x equals 3? X equals 3 is this. Okay, so the area is this, the green one. Yeah. Okay, so this one is not included. This one is not included. The previous one, it is included for the previous one. Look at this. It is included. But for the second one, because we just want to know from x equals 0 from x equals 3, we just have from 0 to 3. Okay, yeah? Okay. Finding the intersection point, the same. So I have -1 and 3, the same. This is -1. So I have this is -1. But don't forget, it is bounded by 0 and 3. So the array is given by 0 until 3. You can play the same game, but evaluate it at different points, 0 and 3. And you will end up with 9. Okay, yeah? Any questions? Okay, if you don't have any question, just a little bit more. The net excess profit, okay, yeah. So this one, I have supposed that years from now, two investment will be generating profit, P1T and P2T, okay, yeah. With their respective rate of profitability is P1 prime and P2 prime. Don't forget, what is P1 prime is the derivative of P1 with respect to T. Turunan dari P1 terhadap T, P1 prime. What about this one? P2 prime is the rate of profitability of investment 2. That is the derivative of P2 with respect to T. Okay, ya. So it is expected. Okay, ini net excess profit of plan 2, investment 2 over investment. So the rate of profitability of P2 should be higher than P1 prime. So we want to have this one. P2 prime should be greater than or equal to P1 prime for the next n year. So if I want to find the net excess profit, I just have to find the integral from 0 to n. The integral from 0 to n. What is n? N is years such that P2 prime greater than or equal to P1 prime. Oke, ya. Jadi n ini dapat dari mana? Ini dapat dari kapan? T berapa? Which T? Which give us P2 prime is greater than or equal to P1 prime. Okay, yeah. So it will give you the n. Yeah, okay. This is the boundary. If you have already know, yeah. This is the boundary. Okay, the right end boundary. This one, the right end boundary. Okay, the n. So the net excess profit is given by P2 prime minus P1 prime dt. Okay, ya. So you have, oke, ya. Jadi kan ini seolah-olah apa? Ini seolah-olah kan ini adalah profit dari investment pertama. Ini kan P2 prime integral. The antiderivative of derivative is P2, isn't it? The antiderivative of P1 at P1 prime is P1. Jadi kan sebenarnya ini mau mencari PT di P2 dikurangi P1 evaluated at n and 0. Kan kira-kira gitu. Ya. Oke, example 5. Ya, I have given you the video, ya. You can look at the video also. Two investment will be generating profit with the rate of profitability is T squared and P2 prime is 2T plus $3,000 per year. Jadi ini fungsi yang tadi lagi. The last one, x squared 2x plus 3, but x is substituted by t. Ya, the same lah ya. Find the net excess profit of plan 2 over plan 1. Plan 2 is 2t plus 3. Plan 2 is this one. Plan 1 is this one. With the axis is t in t ya. This is t. This is p prime t. Okay. So ini sumbu y-nya itu adalah turunan dari P1 dan ini adalah T ya. Oke. So first of all, I want to find the intersection point because I have to find integral from 0 to n. I have to find the n. Oke, ya. So we have to find the intersection point. We have to find such that P2 prime is greater than or equal to P1 prime. Oke, ya. This is the same as P2 prime minus. It goes to the left-hand side with minus P1 prime greater than 0. What is P2 prime? P2 prime is 2t plus 3. Minus what is P1 prime? This is t squared must be greater than 0. So you have minus 2t squared plus 2t is greater than 0. You can multiply this by minus 1. If you multiply this by minus 1, don't forget the sign changes. the sign changes from greater than, from greater than or equal, it will become less than or equal. Okay, yeah? And you can factorize this. You have this one. So when t between -3 and 1, P2 prime is greater than or equal to P1 prime. So the boundary is given by 0 and 3. Pak, why 0 and 3? Yes, because we are calculating years. Years cannot be negative. Years cannot be negative. So I'm looking at integral of 0 to 3 of this one, P2 prime minus P1 prime. You can do this the same as the previous one. And you will have 9. Don't forget full sentences, $1,000. Okay, yeah? Net excess profit is $1,000, but the profitability in $1,000 per year. Hati-hati ya, satuannya beda. Karena ini turunan, karena perubahan profit terhadap waktu. Change in profit with respect to time. But the net excess profit, it's just the profit. So this is just $1,000. Okay. Any questions? So we are just plugging in, find the intersection. The same lah, the same. Okay, yeah. This one is a little bit difficult, but if you have already understand, this is just using the formula, yeah. So this is Lorentz curve, is used to measure the percentage of a society's wealth that is possessed by a given percentage of its people. Okay, yeah. So the Lorentz curve for a particular society's economy is the graph of the function Lx, which denotes the fraction of total annual national income earned by the lowest paid 100x% of the wage earner of the society for x between 0 and 1. Okay, yeah, not so easy for the definition. For instance, if the lowest paid is 30%, okay, yeah, lowest paid 30%. 30% is 0.3 times 100. So X should be 0.3. Of all wage earners receive 23% of the society's total income. Jadi kalau kamu punya penduduk, if you have lots of citizens, you can sort it from the lowest paid until the highest paid, and you can look when you have 30% of the society, so how many wealth do you have for national income, annual national income? Does 30% earn? 30% of the citizen earn? The sorted citizen, ya. Jadi kalau di sini, kalau kamu lihat L 0.3 is 0.23, it means 23% of the society the lowest receive. Okay, so 30% of the lowest paid wage earner receive 23% of the total income of that nation at 1 year. Jadi seolah-olah 30% orang berpenghasilan terbawah itu menguasai 23% dari kekayaan negara dalam 1 tahun. Gitu ya, kira-kira itu yang dimaksud. Jadi kalau if I have a country that has Lorentz curve that L 0.9 is 0.01, itu artinya apa? Artinya 90% of all wage earner, just receive 0.01 times 100%. So just receive 1% of the country's total income. Kau bayangkan, kalau saya urutkan penduduk di suatu negara itu dari penghasilan terendah sampai penghasilan tertinggi, maka setelah saya urut, after I sorted it out, 90% dari atas, 90% dari yang penghasilan terendah itu hanya menguasai 1% dari kekayaan negara. 1% dari kekayaan negara. 1% dari jumlah penghasilan suatu negara dalam 1 tahun. Artinya apa? The distribution of wealth is not just. The distribution of wealth is very timpang gitu kira-kira ya. Timpang. Jadi terlalu banyak. So yang menguasai 90% kekayaan negara, 90% total income, it is dominated by just 10% of the highest paid, the highest wage earner. Jadi yang menguasai 10% ini siapa? Yang menguasai 90% kekayaan 90% total income itu siapa? Hanya 10% yang 10% dengan kekayaan tertinggi. Gitu ya. Jadi distribusi kekayaannya sangat-sangat tidak merata. Sangat-sangat tidak merata. So the Lorenz curve is what we usually depicting, showing us how is the distribution of wealth in a country. How is the distribution of wealth in a country? So if you have L0.9 is 0.9. L0.9. So if you have L0.9 is 0.9. Artinya apa? Artinya 90% dari 90%, 90% of the lowest paid wage earner. Jadi kalau saya urutkan yang paling rendah dari yang paling rendah sampai yang paling tinggi, yang paling rendah, maka 90% ini menguasai it have 90% of the total income of the country. The total income of the country. Can you see? Kalau kamu melihat ini artinya apa? It means that the distribution of wealth is it much more lebih bagus dibanding yang ini. 90% orang kalau saya urutkan hanya menguasai 1%. Kamu bayangkan, hanya menguasai 1%? Ya 1% ya, 1%. Jadi 99% dikuasai oleh 10% orang saja. 10% orang saja. 10% orang yang berpenghasilan besar. Dan di sini, kalau kamu lihat di sini, if you can look at this, 10% orang penghasilan tertinggi hanya menguasai 10% dari total penghasilan dari seluruh negara ini. Jadi ini distribution of wealth-nya lebih oke. Oke ya. Oke, so this is an example of Lorenz curve. Oke ya. Jadi y-x-nya itu kalau paling bagus itu this is complete equality. If y equals s, lx is y, lx is x. If lx is x, this one. Ini artinya apa? L 0,1 ini adalah 0,1. L 0,9 ini adalah 0,9. L dari 0,95 ini adalah 0,95. Artinya selalu kalau saya punya 50% dari saya kumpulkan dari semua orang yang berpenghasilan terendah, 50% menguasai 50% dari total income. 90% kalau saya urutkan menguasai 90% dari total income. So this is the complete equality. Okay, there are no such states, there are no such country that have Lorenz curve Lx equal x. No country. Oke ya. Biasanya kita selalu seperti ini. Nah, yang paling jelek apa? Yang paling jelek kayak gini nih. Yang paling jelek kayak gini. Artinya apa? Kalau kamu lihat di sini, seolah L dari 0,9, nih di sini di 0,9, L 0,9 misalkan adalah 0,01 seperti tadi. Distribution of wealth-nya itu is not well distributed. Jadi kalau kamu your Lorenz curve makin gini, this is makin the distribution of wealth is not well distributed. Tapi kalau kamu makin y equals x, it is makin well distributed. Okay ya. So the Gini index is defined as the ratio of R1 divided by R2. What is R1? R1 is the area between the complete equality and the Lorenz curve. This one, the shaded area. And R2 is what? R2 is the area of this. Okay, yeah. So if I have the Gini index, if I have Lx equals X, complete equality, Lx equals X, you have the area of R1, luas dari R1-nya apa? Luas dari R1-nya sama dengan R2. The area of R1 will become R2. Jadi, luas R1-nya jadi 0 ya, sorry. Luas, so if I have Lx equals X, sekali lagi ya. If I have Lx equal X, so this is a complete equality. So R1 divided by R2. R1 will become apa? Ini kan menjadi ini. Kalau ini menjadi luasnya berapa? Kalau saya tarik terus ke atas. Ini luasnya akan menjadi 0. Dibagi dengan R2. R2 kan luas segitiga. Luas segitiga setengah dikali 1 dikali 1. A half times 1 times 1. So this is a half. 0 divided by a half. 0 divided by a half. So kalau kamu complete equality, the Gini index will give you 0. So this is the well-distributed wealth. Well-distributed wealth. While if GI, the Gini index is 1, what do you mean? R1 is, Lx is this. So R1 should be the same as R2. So R1 should be the same R2, this is 1. So the Gini index is 1, so you have this one as your Lx. So this is not a well-distributed wealth in that country. Okay, yeah. So when the Gini index become closer to 0, that means that you have a well-distributed wealth on that state or that country. If it is become closer and closer to 1, the distribution of wealth is not well distributed. Okay, yeah. So find the Lorentz curve of a country is given Lx is x cubed. Gampang ya. Jadi the Gini index is R1 divided by R2. R2 itu selalu the area of triangle. A half times 1 times 1. It's always a half. And the 1 divided a half will become 2. So it will always 2 times the integral R1. R1 itu apa? Sama seperti tadi. The area bounded by y equals x and y equals Lx is x minus Lx. The upper minus the lower. Upper minus lower. So x minus x cubed dx. And I can separate this to integral x 0 from 1 x dx minus 2 integral 0 1 x cubed. Okay, 2 you can multiply it here and there. Which one? Here and here. So you have this one. And what the antiderivative is, yeah, you can just look at this, and it is a half. The Gini index is a half. Yeah, so it is between the equality and not equal. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Any questions for the Lorentz curve and the Gini index? This is your world, not mine world, not my world. This is just I read it many times, so I can give explanation to you. But kamu seharusnya lebih mengerti ini dibanding saya, karena kamu orang bisnis. Okay, yeah? And the last one, the average value of a function. The average value of function. This is the last one. Let f be continuous function at interval a and b. So the average value of f at interval b is fx dx 1 over b minus a. Okay, yeah? Don't forget. What is this? Ini kan the area of if this is A, this is B. Ini adalah apa? Ini adalah area dari ini. Ya kamu bayangkan ini aja lah. Ini. Oke. Ya oke lah. Integral biasa aja ya. Integral fx dx itu luasan ini. Luasan ini dibagi dengan panjang ini. Luasan ini dibagi dengan panjang ini. Maka kamu dapat rata-rata average value of function f between a and b. Ya oke ya, kalau misalkan saya punya fungsinya just a constant, maybe 1 from A to B, and rata-rata seolah-olah ini rata-rata ketinggiannya, the average value of the height, the average value of the height. So this is the average value of f at A, B. It means the average value of the height. So if I have this, what is the average value of from 0 and A? So I want to find the average value of the height here. Merata-ratakan ketinggiannya. Jadi ini merata-ratakan ketinggian dari nilai fungsi dari 0 sampai A. So in example, if I have the cost function at every year t after year 2000 is given by Ct equals 3t minus 2 to the power of $5,000. Jadi ini cost functionnya itu bergantung dari waktu ya. Jadi C0-nya ada, cost-nya ada, fixed cost-nya. Nanti juga saya punya at year 1 I have the cost, at year 2 don't forget what is C1 mean. When t equals 1, this is 1 year after 2000. It means 2001. Don't forget ya. If you have 3 years after 2000, if you have CT, what is C4? What is C4? That means 4 years after 2000. It means C, the cost function at year 2004. Okay, so you have CT is this 1000 of year. Find the average cost. Find the average cost. The average of the height of CT from year 2001 to 2003. Okay, yeah. So this is T is from 1 until 3. 1 until 3. Times 1 over 3 minus 1. So you have this 3t minus 5 to the power of 5 dt of this. 1 over 3 minus 1 is a half times this. Okay, yeah? You cannot solve it directly. Why? Because this is x, but this is not x. Okay, this is 3t minus 5, this is 3. Okay, so if I have integral x to the power of 5 dx, you can do this directly. But this is not the same, so you cannot look at it directly. So you have to use substitution method. Let's see. Let u equals 3t minus 5, so du should be 3 dt, and 1/3 du equals dt. Okay, yeah. Don't forget, substitute the value of the boundary when this is the boundary for t, because this is dt. So t equals 1. When t equals 1, u equals 3 times 1 minus 5 minus 2. When t equals 3, you can substitute here. 3 minus 5 will give you 4. So this one will give you a half integral minus 2 until 4 u to the 5. dt is changed, substituted with 1/3 du. Okay, yeah? You can find this, find this. Don't forget the full sentences. The average cost from year 2001 to year 2000. Okay, yeah. So I think that's all. And for Wednesday, we still have plenty of application of integral. I think you have to read it first. You have to watch the video to understand it. Yeah, to understand it more. Do you have any questions now? Questions? Okay, yeah. If you don't know